Have you ever heard of the Black Knight satellite? No, it's not a medieval spaceship jousting through the cosmos, though that would be cool. But according to some, there's an unknown object orbiting Earth, and it's been there for a very, very long time. For decades, conspiracy theories have claimed that this so-called Black Knight is not just a piece of space junk, but something far more intriguing. An ancient alien probe watching us from above. And here's where things get really interesting. Some say this thing has been orbiting Earth for thousands of years, long before we even had satellites of our own. So, is this a case of lost alien technology, a secret government project, or just an overhyped misunderstanding? Whatever the truth, one thing's for sure. It has captivated the imagination of millions. Get ready, because we're diving deep into the mystery of the Black Knight satellite. From bizarre radio signals to NASA photographs, let's separate fact from fiction and see if there's really something out there. Now, let's rewind to the late 19th century, when one of history's greatest inventors, Nikola Tesla, made a claim that would puzzle scientists for decades. He believed he had received a message from space. It was the year 1899. Tesla, experimenting in his lab in Colorado Springs, detected strange radio signals unlike anything he had ever heard before. To him, these weren't random noises. They had a pattern. Tesla was convinced these signals came from intelligent life, possibly from Mars. Of course, we now know that's unlikely, but at the time, the idea wasn't as far-fetched as it sounds. A few decades later, in the 1920s, radio operators across the world started noticing something weird. Radio signals bouncing back after long delays, sometimes several seconds later. These long-delayed echoes had no clear explanation. Some speculated they were bouncing off the moon, or even an unknown object orbiting Earth. The mystery deepened. Could these echoes be evidence of an ancient alien probe? Some thought so, but there was just one problem. There was no solid proof linking these signals to anything extraterrestrial. Just like Tesla's claim, the idea remained a fascinating but unproven mystery. And so, the legend of an unidentified object in orbit grew. But it was only the beginning. The real Black Knight mystery was yet to come. Now, let's jump ahead to the 1950s when something strange hit the news. Reports surfaced that the U.S. military had detected an unidentified satellite in orbit. But here's the catch. This was years before the first human-made satellites were launched. It was 1954, and American newspapers ran sensational stories claiming the Pentagon had spotted something unexpected above Earth. But the government? Silent. No official confirmation. Just mystery. The speculation took off. Was this an alien probe, a secret government experiment, or something else entirely? The idea of an unknown satellite orbiting Earth was both thrilling and unsettling. But let's take a step back. The 1950s were a tense time. The space race between the US and the Soviet Union was heating up, and early efforts to track objects in orbit were still primitive. Could this mystery satellite have been a mistake? Most historians now believe the reports were simply confusion, misidentifications of classified military projects or early Soviet space activity. No hard evidence of a non-human object was ever found. So, was the Black Knight really spotted in 1954? Probably not. But the idea had taken root, and the legend was growing, and soon, it would get even stranger. Now, let's fast forward to the Cold War. A time of high-stakes espionage, space exploration, and a whole lot of paranoia. And in the middle of it all, a mysterious dark object spotted in Earth's orbit. Was it an alien satellite? A Soviet spy device? Or something else entirely? It was the year 1960. The U.S. Navy was tracking objects in orbit when they detected something strange, an unidentified dark object circling the Earth. It wasn't listed in any official space records, and no one knew where it had come from. With the space race heating up, the military took this very seriously. Could it be a secret Soviet satellite, a new type of reconnaissance technology, or something not of this Earth? The mystery didn't last long. The object was eventually identified as an old casing from a Discoverer satellite, part of a classified U.S. military program. No aliens, no secret space probes, just human-made space junk. But that didn't stop the conspiracy theories. When the story hit the media, speculation ran wild. Some insisted the government was covering up the truth, that this was no ordinary debris but an ancient alien satellite. And just like that, the Black Knight legend grew even bigger. A simple misidentified piece of space junk became proof of an extraterrestrial presence. And this wouldn't be the last time the story resurfaced. Now, let's fast forward to the late 1990s, when the Black Knight mystery took an unexpected turn. This time, the evidence wasn't just a rumor or a misinterpretation. It was something real, photographs taken by NASA itself. It was during the STS-88 mission in 1998. NASA astronauts were assembling the International Space Station when they captured images of a strange dark object floating nearby. The photos showed an unusual, twisted form, something that didn't look like typical space debris. The moment these images were released, speculation exploded. Had NASA just accidentally revealed the Black Knight satellite? Conspiracy theorists were convinced. This was it. Proof that an unknown satellite, possibly ancient, was orbiting Earth. News articles, documentaries, and online forums buzzed with excitement. But NASA had a much simpler explanation. According to them, this Black Knight was nothing more than a thermal blanket, a piece of insulation accidentally lost during a spacewalk. Not alien technology, just space litter. The photos, NASA's explanation, and the theories clashed. Was this just another case of mistaken identity, or was there more to the story? One thing was certain, this wouldn't be the last time the Black Knight captured the world's imagination. And just like that, the Black Knight legend got another boost. Whether a misunderstood piece of space debris or a mysterious object of unknown origin, one thing was clear, it wasn't going away anytime soon. All right, let's take a step back. We've heard the wild theories, the mysterious signals, and the eerie photos. But what does science actually say? It's time to separate fact from fiction. First up, those strange long-delayed radio echoes. Scientists now understand that these echoes are a natural phenomenon caused by radio waves bouncing between layers of Earth's atmosphere and even space objects. And that unidentified dark object spotted in 1960? Turns out it wasn't an alien probe, just a piece of an old US satellite that had fallen out of orbit. Space debris, not an extraterrestrial visitor. Now, what about the famous 1998 NASA photos? That eerie, black, twisting shape floating in space. NASA identified it as a thermal blanket, just a piece of insulation lost during a spacewalk. So, after all the mystery, there's still no evidence of an ancient alien satellite watching over us. Just natural phenomena, space debris, and a lot of human imagination. But does that mean the legend of the Black Knight satellite is over? Not quite. Even with logical explanations, some people still aren't convinced. And that brings us to our next chapter, the Black Knight in pop culture. And here we are, the final chapter in the story of the Black Knight satellite. Even after decades of debunking, the legend refuses to fade. Why? Because myths have a way of sticking around, especially when they capture the imagination. The Black Knight has become a staple in UFO lore and conspiracy circles. Some still insist it's proof of extraterrestrial intelligence, while others see it as a prime example of how misinformation spreads. It has made its way into documentaries, books, and even movies. From sci-fi thrillers to late-night talk shows, the mysterious satellite has been used as a symbol of hidden secrets and government cover-ups. But ask a scientist, and they'll tell you, it's a myth built on a mix of misinterpretations, misunderstood signals, and good old-fashioned storytelling. To this day, no credible evidence supports the idea that the Black Knight is an ancient alien probe, but that hasn't stopped it from living on in pop culture. And maybe that's part of what makes it so fun. Speaking of fun, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Black Knight mystery, make sure to hit that like button. It helps our channel reach more curious minds. And let's be real, you don't want to miss our next big investigation. And hey, we want to hear from you. What do you think? Just a case of mistaken identity? Or is there still something mysterious up there? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss.